Hello and welcome back to our HIP New World Order campaign. In our last episode, we've been mostly helping out our new allies in Norway in their war against Denmark. And we've got them up to 62%, so hopefully we'll be able to get them up to a point where they can peace out pretty soon. We are going to try to get to this battle in time to help out, but we might not. In which case we'll just have to fight the remaining Danish army. We took our trade post back, because that's very important. We have a new Duke of Limburg. Okay. I think this is the third absent-minded Duke we've gotten in recent times. Didn't quite get there in time. That's okay. We are going to catch at least some of the Danish army, though. Which is something. Worth a couple of percent of war score. And we have a new Duke of Normandy, who is quite happy with me, and not absent-minded at all. He has a mind like a steel trap. Good for him. So still a few little armies around here. I don't think they're really worth our time to chase down and try to fight them, though. Ooh, one of our new Hungarian vassals down here seems to be attacking the King of Hungary, his former overlord. Holy War for Visegrad, which I'm guessing is perhaps the neighboring duchy. This one? Yes, okay. Well, if he takes that, that's fine. That is one less war that we'll have to fight against Hungary. And speaking of which, it's another 4 years until our truce ends there. So if we could get our plot to fire before that, we could go to war again sooner. Seems like that's not going to happen, though. While traveling with my troops during this holy war, I've come across a lost, exhausted warrior. He doesn't speak my language, but my soldiers and I managed to figure out that he is an enemy infidel. Should I be kind to this man? Give him some food and water? Or should I do with him as I should any heathen? I guess we should probably show kindness and chivalry to all enemies. We'll allow the infidel to stay with us and our men for the night. Impressed by our generosity, the infidel, through an interpreter, tells you that he wishes to serve you. He actually ran away from his lord, who was an unjust, cruel man. The infidel states that he would rather serve a kind, just infidel than a tyrant of his own faith. So we will be able to get a soldier at our courts, or tell him to serve his own heathen lord. We'll accept him at our court. And we'll see if we can find him and check him out. I'm assuming he's not one of these prisoners. This is probably him. The Shia. Not a particularly remarkable character, but I guess he can stay. Okay, another siege. We're up to 76%. I'd like to take another holding in the capital as well. Bringing us up to 80. And actually that's the whole capital siege, so I guess we'll move to the next county. We'll take a prisoner. And we're up to 91%. So maybe in the interest of ending this a little faster, we'll pile this army on top of this other one and assault a holding here. Oh, never mind. Denmark has accepted peace. And Norway got actual victory, not just white peace, so that's good. And we are at peace now. And I just saw our name move on the map, so I thought maybe our vassal duke here had won his holy war, but it seems it seems to still be going on. So maybe not. Not sure where our borders changed, if anywhere. But now that we're actually at peace, and it's September, we still have the hunting focus, so we'll be able to go on a grand hunt for the quite large cost of 118 gold, but that's okay. We can afford it. I think after this we'll probably change our focus to something else. Given the order for a grand hunt to be organized. Over here, I guess, which is, I assume, where we are, we're leading one of these armies. That's fine. We can have a leisurely hunt on our way back from Denmark. Sighthounds thirsted for blood this gentle afternoon, and they brought us many hares. This is fine sport. And Norway is again calling us into a war against a Norwegian revolt. Well, it looks like this is 2 counties, 3 counties. So he should be able to handle this himself. The revolt has 3,500 troops to his 1,500. Oh, come on now. I don't really want to actually join the war. I want to have my hunt. I'm going to decline. I'm going to decline, but we'll send him a couple of gifts so he can hire mercenaries or something. And by a couple, I apparently mean 4. Could help with the opinion penalty for declining his call as well. Dogs have caught scent of a boar in the forest. This is the chance of getting a mighty boar slain. We can say the peasants will finish it, or we can face it alone with our spear. Well, we have a good heir lined up, as mentioned before, who in fact has an heir of her own now, so I'm a little more inclined to risk death. Or even just maiming. So let's do it. No, we didn't get maimed or gain any martial. That's fine. And our troops are back home. So, with all of our troops lowered, we can declare any wars we want to, at least once our hunt is over we can. Truly noble endeavor and a true challenge for our martial abilities. We also have a granddaughter who needs an education. Let's give her to the King of Saxony for opinion. So, speaking of wars, we can't go to war with Hungary yet, unless the king has died in the last few months since I looked. However, we can go to war again with England, because apparently the king died, so we can take the other subholding in here. We'll want to declare that. We can declare another war at the same time for one of our subholdings down here that we don't have. And as a solution to our problem with not being able to create the Kingdom of Miser, I have a plan, which is to conquer an adjacent kingdom, and we can then probably just transfer all of the dukes down here to the king of that kingdom, and then grant them independence. So, as to which kingdom we're going to conquer, it would probably be best to do one of the smaller ones. Let's see. This one down here is 4 duchies, it looks like. Fezzan, it seems, is only 2 duchies, so that looks like that's going to be the best option, probably. We don't want to really fight Aragon if we don't have to. So, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for entertainment purposes, we are going to have to end up fighting the fairly large Muslim king down here with 50,000 troops to his name. He's Yazidi, actually. So that's fine, we can take these 2 duchies in 2 wars, we can create this kingdom title, we can grant all of this land to that king and grant them independence, and have a neat solution to our problems down here. So we'll declare this war, declare the other 2 wars that I mentioned. I guess we'll take this duchy first. Not that it matters too much. And I suppose we'll declare for this holding. Where's the other one? I guess we'll declare for this one since we just happen to have our retinue on there already. And we'll declare on England. Alright, so we have wars on 3 separate fronts to manage now, but this shouldn't be too much of an issue. The English one especially should be fairly easy. I'm probably just going to siege the target holding here and then fight any English armies that appear, but otherwise not bother sending troops over there. I guess we can go and siege the land in Brittany, that's going to be easy enough. And actually this 28,000 might be adequate all by themselves. And we'll raise Normandy also. We'll split this army in half so it's not going to take attrition. We'll leave our retinue up here. Probably don't need to use them. We'll raise troops down here. And maybe a few more. Since we're probably going to need to transport a good amount over to Africa to wage our war over there. Of course, we can raise all of our levies down here too. And we'll probably just call in Jerusalem as well. Who knows, they might even join. Guess we'll send you guys over here. So, actually maybe we'll call in Al-Andalus also, since they are actually pretty well positioned to fight these guys. We'll just call them into that one holy war, since we definitely don't need their help with anything else. He should be pretty well disposed towards us because we helped him out. I guess not, I guess that has worn off. A different king, actually. I guess the king that we helped out had died at some point. That's fine. He refuses anyway, okay. Let's go ahead and get some boats raised. We're gonna need to bring some from over here as well. And some of our recently started upgrades are finishing. Norway is calling us in against the Norwegian revolt again. Well, I guess we don't have any hunt to use as an excuse to not help them out this time, so sure. We'll accept. Guess we've raised troops here already. You know, I'll even go so far as to raise my personal levies to go help you out. Don't you feel special, Denmark? Or Norway. Not Denmark. I hope you appreciate this. Apparently he didn't put our gifts to good use. He could have hired mercenaries, which could undoubtedly have won him this war. But that's fine. There's a man I need to arrest and another I want to assassinate. My spy master could either help with the arrest or the assassination, but not both. We'll just take the plot power increase, which maybe will help us out against Hungary. We have 72%. We can bribe one person in there. Which we will. We actually have a relatively large army down here from the one guy that we're fighting. So let's actually have these troops meet here. We'll send them down there to deal with that. Yeah, I think we're going to need more boats. I suppose we can just always transport troops across in a few batches. It doesn't matter too much. Maybe we'll send Andalusia a gift, even though it's very expensive, to prove his opinion, so maybe if we can try to call him in again, he'll accept. You have succeeded in your mission to convert that county, that's good, that should fulfill our ambition for us. We unpause. We'll maybe gain one learning. And we did. So we should move our chaplain to the next unconverted county over here. And probably just take the same ambition again, because I doubt we have a different one available. And we have some enemy troops over here. Lost a trade post siege to England, not a big deal. And we'll continue sieging our target holding here, but get some of these other armies on their way over to Brittany, where they can be of some use. And this 28k will just march by land up towards the Norwegian revolt. The trade post sieges are not a concern. Okay. Our court chaplain has accused this bishop of heresy. We'll say he's probably not a heretic, though he is a wicked priest. So who knows? Alright, we should be able to fit this 50,000 on these boats. We can come back for the other 16k, or we might not even need it. And we'll probably just land them over here. Or at least part of them, and we can take out this army and start sieging our war goal over here. This 17k we'll send to deal with this army. And we've sieged our target there. Won a minor battle. The prisoner is complaining about his dark cell. We'll let him rot, but we will also maybe ransom him. Anyone else that's available. Okay, so our troops have landed. We'll get half of them back on the boat. We're still over the supply limit here, but not by too much. So we'll just leave. Actually, we'll take half of the army out of there and attack with that. No point taking unnecessary attrition. We don't have a huge numbers advantage in this battle, but it should be enough. One of my guards seems to be unhappy about this war. It seems he personally knows some of the soldiers fighting for the other side. I am sorry to hear that. Lost a trade post siege, not a big deal. And we won the battle. Okay. We will pursue with this 9,000. We'll send our 12,000 southwards. Although we can't actually fit that many in this county, so let's see, we'll send them here. And only 6k on to start sieging there. We'll see how this battle goes too. We won, not too unexpectedly, so we can usually they're holding in here. Although we actually don't need to, we can just end that one immediately, which frees up this army to head over in this direction. Alright, well we're out of time for this episode, so we'll have to leave it here and continue our many and varied wars in the next one. So thanks for watching, and join me again then.